Welcome back to CasualBiasRugby. Rassie Erasmus has come out and he has announced his team to take on the All Blacks this coming weekend in Cape Town. Massive game. Probably, you would say, for South Africa, the title decider. I think if we win this game with a bonus point, we do have the Rugby Championship in the bag. But yeah, obviously, you don't want to think about winning it with a bonus point. You just go out there and put in a performance and get your 4 points. Right, like that's obviously the main goal, just to get the victory. If we get the victory over the All Blacks, it's probably between us and Argentina to take the Rugby Championship, and I doubt that we'll lose it from there. Anyway, I know some people might hate this video because I've got a couple of controversial opinions. But I mean, that's what it's all about. To be a fan, you're allowed to have your opinion. You don't have to agree with it. Like, tell me if you disagree with it. I really don't mind people coming at me in the comment section. I do banter a lot, and I expect you guys to come back at me. I think it's like a 6.5 out of 10 team. I am happy to some degree, but I do think we are missing at some points. Anyway, without any further ado, let's get into it. Please do remember, if you do like the channel as a whole, please do remember to like and subscribe. I do truly appreciate each and every one of you guys. But anyway, let's get into it. In that 1, 2, 3, we've got Ox the Steamroller in chair, Bongie Manambi and Frans Malherbe. Massive game ahead for them. I've always said it. Like, when it comes to South Africa, you always think, what is the one thing that stands out for us? Is that physical presence, right? And I think the physical presence of New Zealand matched up pretty well against us in that first test. Not necessarily the bomb squad or when the bench came into play, because obviously the drop-off for them from the bench to... or from the starting lineup to the bench is a bit more drastic than it is for us. You could arguably say our better boys come off the bench. That's just an argument. But the drop-off for them is a lot bigger than it is for us. But we know when it comes to tackling, Frans Malherbe is always up there with the tackles. Bongie Manambi, he does the work. Oxenche is a great carrier for us. And obviously the scrum battle will be very interesting. I thought New Zealand held their own at scrum time, especially in that first half, very well. Until the replacements came on, and then they kind of just like, what do you say, got dominated at the scrum battle. So I don't think there's a massive advantage for either one of the two teams when it comes to the starting lineup scrum time. It doesn't feel like we're going to be under much pressure when it comes to scrum, but I also don't think we'll dominate the scrum time. I think as long as we get good, clean ruck ball for Grant Williams to get us flowing, I'm happy. So a massive game for those front three. Eben Etzebeth going into the lock position with Ruan Orkia retaining his spot. I am surprised with the Ruan Orkia shout. I thought we might see Pieter-Steph du Toit going back into that lock position. But I am happy for Ruan Orkia. Like I read a comment, I think it was either on YouTube or on TikTok, where someone informed me, listen, we had a 100% line-out success rate when Ruan Orkia was on the pitch. When he went off, we didn't win a single line-out. He came back on, and then we won all our line-outs again. So he had a vital role to play last weekend. I didn't even notice that. But he did retain his spot. He deserves to retain that spot. He made a ton of tackles. He was great. He's not necessarily your most dominant ball carrier, but his work rate around the field is sensational. He's a very like-for-like replacement with Franco Mostert, which is absolutely brilliant, right? So no issues with him taking that number 5 jersey. Siya Kolisi, Captain Rugby, Captain South Africa, takes that number 6 jersey with a broken face. With a broken face. Can you believe it? A better recovery time than Antoine Dupont in the Rugby World Cup. I mean, test this guy. Test this guy. Seriously, look at the knees, look at the face, and everything is just quick recoveries. I am surprised with Siya. I'm not surprised that he's playing, but the fact that he's playing and we went with a 5-3 split, I'll explain it a bit more in depth when we get to the bench. But Siya Kolisi, obviously when he's fit, he has to play, right? So no issues there. Pieter-Steph to tackle, moves back into the Lucy position. I really wanted to see Ben Jason Dixon. Like, I really do like Ben Jason Dixon, and I don't think it is really valid to drop a guy after just one game. But Rassie has come out in the press conference and said, listen, Jason Dixon, he will play a ton of games still for the Springboks. It's just for this one game. We're going with a 5-3 split. So Pieter-Steph to tackle takes his rightful number 7 jersey back. Jasper Wiese in that 8 jersey had a crazy good game against the All Blacks last weekend. He comes out again. The guy is hungry. You can see he's hungry. He knows he needs to put up a great performance, especially knowing Ulrich Louw is probably right on his heels at the moment. And in the near future, we'll see Cameron Hanekom also coming through the range. So, yeah, massive game for Jasper Wiese as well. put in the same performance as you do last weekend, and we will have absolutely no issues. Moving on to the back line, this is where the talking points come in. Grant Williams finally gets his start, and I mentioned that Grant Williams could kind of be like that Kwagga Smith, but for the back line on the bench, which his impact is so good. Do you really want to start the guy? But he finally gets that start. It's his second start in the Springbok jersey, but you could say it's his first start, seeing that he literally got knocked out in 5 seconds against Argentina the first time. So I thought we might see him get that start against Argentina this year. But no, he's playing against the All Blacks, our biggest rival. He deserves it. The country has been calling, listen, we want Grant to start. Fair enough, he's got that start. Brilliant for him. My apologies, guys. My camera died. I think I was at Andre Pollard taking on that number 10 jersey. Yeah, I heard that apparently he's taking that 10 jersey because Sasha Feinberg has got a little bit of a knee injury, that he's been struggling with his knees, which is fair. I think obviously you have to have a guy that can kick on the field. I know I've spoken about Marnie taking that 23 jersey, but then Andre is the right guy when it comes to this. You don't want to leave the kicking duties necessarily to Marnie in these heavy important games when it comes to deciders. If the case is not that Sasha's injured, I do not know why Andre would start then, right? Like this is my controversial opinion. Is just that Andre Pollard is not the same player that he was when he was 22 years old, right? Like, it is a bit controversial. I just don't think he offers as much on the field anymore as he did back then. When he was in his prime, I mean, he was so good. He was nearly unplayable, literally unplayable. But yeah, I don't want to have this misconception that I hate Andre Pollard. I absolutely love and adore Andre Pollard. I've been watching the guy for years. So I love Andre. I do agree that he should take that 10 jersey if Sasha's injured. Yeah, I haven't heard anyone come out to say anything. But if Sasha's not injured, I do not understand for the life of me why he would take that 10 jersey. Because where's the creativity necessarily coming from with Andre? Like, it just doesn't offer you that much on the field at the moment. And I think the combination of Grant Williams and Sasha would have been absolutely scintillating. But I mean, obviously Rassie knows best. And if they think Andre is still up for it, then obviously you play him. He is still world class, you know. Anyway, I don't want to go into a rant about that. That's the only real change I would have made. If it's a big if, like if there is an injury, obviously you're not playing Sasha the full game. So it is what it is. Moving on to the wings, Cheslin Colby, Canan Moody, and then the centres stay the same. Damian Delander, Jesse Creel. No real surprises there. Damian Delander, one of the most underappreciated players to ever play, not even in a South African jersey, but play rugby. I mean, he's not even carrying that much anymore like he used to. But you just look at last weekend, yeah, okay, he gave away interception pass, but he had the most turnovers, I think, for South Africa. He was absolutely brilliant at the breakdown. He made a ton of tackles. He's at literally every single breakdown almost. He's just a scintillating player. And like, you don't always feel like you notice him on the field, but when he's gone, you certainly notice him. Canan Moody gets that 14 jersey. Had a good season with the Bulls. Obviously got an injury. Happy to see him again. I thought we might see Jesse Creel go onto that 14 jersey. But no, we got Moody. I'm not opposed to it. I thought we might see Lukhanyo but obviously he's gone onto the bench, and then Willie to round off the first 15. Also, same WhatsApp group as Damian Delander. He's just such a fine wine player at the moment. Like he's at his best season in years, probably his best season ever. When you look at the Bulls and the way that he's played for the Springboks, I thought we might see Apelile Fassi. I thought of all games, if you want to play Apelile Fassi, the one in Cape Town might be the one, seeing that it's been windy, it's been rainy. And he's obviously got you that eyeball security. But I've got no issues with Willie coming into this team, and I think it's kind of vital that he came into this team for this game if Sasha isn't in that 10 jersey, because Willie obviously he's got a better pass, he's better when it comes to creativity. So he might slot into that first receiver role a lot of the times, moving Andre Pollard onto inside centre or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Moving on to the bench, and this is where I said I'm surprised, with the 5-3 split. If you have Siya Kolisi, who's got the half of his face smashed in, isn't the obvious choice to go 6-2 split? Like, I understand 5-3 if you maybe had Marco van Staden there, that has a bit of more of an engine. But Siya Kolisi only plays about 45 to 50 minutes. But we'll probably see Ulrich Lowe maybe come on for Siya. or Kwagga going on for Sia early stages, and then the other one comes on for Ruan Orkia or Eben Etzebeth, which makes Pieter-Steph du Toit move on to that lock position. That's kind of what I see happening in this game. Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious. But then we go onto the backs, right? And 5-3 split, it is what it is. I would have loved to have seen the 6-2, but Jaden Hendricks, on what merit has he gotten into this team? Like I just mentioned, that obviously Rassie Erasmus knows this team a lot better than I do. I'm just talking from a fan's perspective, just giving my opinion. But like, what has this guy done to be there? Like, why isn't Morten van der Berg there? Why isn't Nohamba there? Why isn't Reinach still there? Like, I get that we wanted to give Grant Williams a start, but surely you get the experience of Kobus Reinach then on the bench. Jaden Hendricks has had a shocking season, and he's been injured for such a long time. I just don't get it. I don't get that choice. I don't think he's had good games for the Springboks either. I'm not a Jaden Hendricks hater, but I just do not see on what merit he's been selected for this team. I just think we have so much better nines than Hendricks, but it is what it is. Sasha onto the bench, no surprises there. Expect to see him straight swap for Andre going into that 10 jersey. I don't think he take off Vili at some point. I think we want to see that interchange between Sasha and Vili Leroux as the first receiver. And then finally, Lukanya who I thought will get that 13 jersey, goes on to that number 23 jersey. I think he's hungry. He's been on form. He's put in really good performances. He's kind of on the heels of Jesse Creel. So I'm really, really excited to see what he brings to the table this weekend. I think he'll get a good few minutes. I'm not too sure. Does he slot into the wing? Does he slot into inside centre? Does he just go straight up for that outside centre position? Questions. But a lovely little problem to have. Anyway, thank you very much for watching the video. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys. As said, please do remember to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time for the official match preview of this game. Thank you.